friends, to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany. Starting in 1935, it's August 1961. We are 8 months into our war with Britain and their Johnny-come-lately allies France. And it's going a bit meh. I mean, I've had 2 big victories, and you'd have thought, that would lay out the ground, but they don't seem to know when they're beaten. And there are certain, rumblings, some pluses, some minuses, hence the overall sort of meh state. So, on the minuses, they're blockading us because they've consolidated everything together. I've detached heavy cruisers over to the east coast, which turned out to be a nonsense because you can't invade when there's a blockade. So it's costing me $3,000 a month to plan this invasion of Newfoundland, so I'm going to turn that off. I thought I'd ask these boys to come back, but they still seem to be coming back. And they're getting all a little bit attrited, and also their destroyers. So hopefully they will come back next turn. With the invasion cancelled and with nothing under repair, it means I can turn back on some of these destroyers that are under construction, which is nice, and get them resuming. I won't do this 4th one, because I just like this 1,000 plus monthly balance just to rebuild this fund, which at 40,000 is a little bit low. If I get a big battle and lots of ships in repair, I want to be able to comfortably repair them all and still have a little pot of money. Because of the blockade, the unrest has gone to level 5. Boo! It had been level 4 because of the victories. And yeah, so if we look at the map, we can see, and bring up the correlation of forces, we can see that we have 251. The British have under 200, 178, and the French have over 200, 238. So combined, they are at 416. So whilst individually we are bigger than either, yeah, we're going to be needing to sink a lot of ships to bring that down. I mean, I do have the heavy cruisers coming back, so that will be a helpful thing. But yeah, we've got the dreaded B in Northern Europe for blockade, which is annoying. Let's just see that. Oops. Yeah, there you are as a little graph. So that's the job in hand. So what I'd like from this month is a giant victory. So let's press the old turn button and see what pops up. A small engagement in the Mediterranean. I think so. So yes, Lutyens has failed his command check. Well done, Lutyens. True to form as ever. This is not the battle I want to fight. I don't want to be... What the heck? Well, that's going to be an easy one, isn't it? Because that's going to be, we're not there. Now, convoy defense. Now you're talking. I love a good convoy defense battle, or indeed attack battle. They're some of my favorites. Well, on our side, it's a full attendance. So obviously I'm going to go for this. We've exceeded our morale check. I don't know actually if we have any ships to add. Oh, well, we do have the Kolberg. Oh, it's working up. Oh, well, I mean, it'll be a great experience for the boys. They'll love it. So, hell yes, I'm going to accept that. Expected enemy forces, a battlecruiser, a mythical battlecruiser, 3 carriers, so they're carriers, and 21 destroyers. So let's accept a pile of minefields. Righty-ho. Definitely be attacking the enemy ships. And here we are. So we have Flug 1 here and Flug 2 next to it with a whole pile of screens, and they all happily going that way. This is Flug 3, and I've asked Flug 3 to provide some cap for the battlecruisers. Here are the battlecruisers who are just changing course to go down that way. Here are our convoy. It seems a very small convoy, but, a convoy's a convoy. And here we have an SSG 264, which is nice. Hi, guys. And we just have to defend the convoy. Don't know where the convoy is going. That might be a thing. Presumably, the convoy is also going this direction. Otherwise, that would be a bit weird. But we will see. Good news, the time is just gone 10 o'clock in the morning. So everyone's had a nice cup of tea and maybe a biscuit. And we've got 10 hours of 20 minutes of broad daylight, 620 minutes. This is an 800-minute battle, so only the last bits. And if we zoom out, there's a coastal submarine there. There's another SSG over here as well, so I'm liking that. So yeah, we're in the middle of the southern Norwegian Sea. I don't know where the convoy is heading. Um, So they could be heading north, actually, by zooming in. Let's just see. Okay, that's an escort. That's a destroyer. That's an actual merchant ship. So yeah, okay. So they could be heading north. Obviously, finding out where they're heading is going to be slightly important. Other than that, all seems good. The battlecruiser force has a nice, wide, good old-fashioned scouting line. Well done, chaps. And yeah, so I'm just going to sort out some reconnaissance and see what we get for that. So yeah, let's just tidy that up. Oh, okay. Well, so interesting, because obviously that implies where the enemy force might be found, but so does that. Okay. So that suggests it's dead ahead. Okay. So let me just tidy this. So experience from the previous battle suggested they started the British carriers, and I'm assuming it's British here. I should have looked for the air and stuff, but at quite a distance. So I'm going to go for 350 nautical miles from the carrier in a straightforward fan. It's only 4, so that's fine for the main carrier force. We'll do Reykjavik to reconnaissance from behind. So that's 600 nautical miles from Reykjavik. And yeah, just nicely covering this area. I haven't mentioned it, it should be obvious, but actually having this base in Iceland is just huge in terms of the reconnaissance opportunities, the ability to have battles out in the North Atlantic and still have a friendly port to take damaged ships, all sorts of things. Loving the German occupation of Iceland. From Narvik, another 600 miles. I'm just doing the 3. This is sort of really just a back sweep thing, just in case anybody's sneaking around. I don't necessarily expect them to be in the lead. And then from Bergen, a good overlapping sweep from the carriers. So I'm just going to push it on a minute, because actually I just want to see where this convoy is going. It's kind of important to know where it's going in order to decide my plan. Well, straight off the mark, 254 fires a missile at, obviously, an enemy heavy cruiser. Just for confirmation's sake, it's important to note that the British have 1 heavy cruiser, but it's the constant target of missile attacks forever and ever. So 254 is over here. So, well, that's a bit of intelligence. I'm just going to push it on another minute, because I don't really see, are these people really going north? Oof. Well, now they're slightly turning, so I don't know, but they're sort of going in that direction. Okay. So let's plan this out. Okay, let's not all get too excited. 109 has picked up an unknown radar contact. This is 109 just here, but I bet the radar contact is in fact us. So we can ignore that. Now, back to planning. So all we know is, first of all, U-254 fired a missile at a heavy cruiser, and we are being forced to sail in this sort of direction, which implies that the enemy might be here-ish somewhere. The air reconnaissance, however, implied that the enemy was sort of more here. Now, I'm drawing these circles quite close to us, but of course they could be that way or that way off the map from where we are now. Oh, whoops, I forgot to take it off zoom. There you go. Let's just change the color. The wind, for your reference, is coming down from the northeast in that kind of direction. So obviously our carriers will want to fly in that direction, which is sort of helpful for if the enemy is off over there. And also just nice to see that our helicopters here are flying around doing recon of their own free will. So that's very helpful. So let's just take that off. And I don't think I've got any control over direction. No, I don't. So I'm just going to push it along. Just so, yeah, helicopters taking off from destroyers and cruisers. Isn't that nice to see? And yeah, lots of recon. No finding of anything. Let's pull it out as far as, well, not as far as it will go, but as far as I want to go. Right, Z109 has found it. No, it's still the convoy. Well, obviously you have to go and check, but again, 109 is up here, so yeah, it's just that. Now keel. Let's go and zoom into keel. No, that's keel. So again, that's us. Interestingly, the rest of the convoy has been thickening up, so it is a proper sized convoy, which is nice to know. So yeah. Z70. Right. That's more like it. Now, the thing I forgot to do, the thing you're probably banging your head against the screen going, for God's sake, Dickie, prepare an airstrike. You've got all these carriers. Yes, sorry about that. In fact, I'm just going to pause this. I'm not going to cut it as a video, but I have to do that old-fashioned thing of go to work for one more week. Next Thursday, my last day. So I will sort of enjoy going to work for one more week, and I will see you back at the blink of an eye through the power of video stuff. And I'm back. Slightly longer than I thought it would take, but no harm done. Gives me an opportunity to reflect on what's happening here. What's happening here, Dickie? Well, we've got these blobs over here, radar contact. They don't actually constitute a report yet. Probably will do soon. I have my convoy here. I have my surface action group here. I have Flug 1 and Flug 2 there, readying with the strikes. I've got Flug 3, who I have asked to provide a cap for the battle cruisers over here, there. And obviously, I have the enemy here. Now, I'm assuming this is only a fraction of the enemy. In fact, I am assuming that this is a surface action group similar to this. However, well, similar-ish to this, obviously without battle cruisers and all the rest of the stuff. So that implies, let me just zoom out here, that we may well find the carriers somewhere sort of here-ish, maybe. Alternatively, they might be up here. I say that because the direction of air search is in this kind of general direction, whereas obviously they may well be here in order to loosely support this soon-to-be decimated surface action group. Obviously, what I don't want is for this surface action group to get cheeky and try and aim towards my convoy. So I'm going to take my battle cruisers up this way in the hope/expectation that they follow suit. So that's, I think, my outline plan. I've launched a couple of small strikes from Flug 2, the small carriers, to help getting rid of this. I'm putting some of one of my big carriers preparing a strike just for it to be there for the immediate off, and then I'm hanging fire on the rest until things resolve themselves a little bit more clearly. The time, just for reference, we still have 10 hours and 5 minutes until the beginning of dusk. So plenty of time for action to ensue. Zooming into the radar contacts, it looks like this and this are cruisers and the remainder are destroyers. So I'm going to work on that principle. Let's bring up the old missile firing stuff and have a look at who is who. So that's unidentified ship. Oh, Eve was going to say unidentified ship. I wish it just say unidentified ship 1 and 2 so that I can talk about it. So I'm going to do that. So unidentified ship 1 obviously needs a little bit of missile love. We are somewhere in the region, well, 35,000 there. It'd be really nice if we could sort the range. Oh, there was a 34,000. So let's go for 34,000. 2 missiles from Z-28. Well, let's do that Z-28. It's a shame this little control doesn't allow you to kind of like set up multiple. I have to do one target at a time, essentially. So let's fire both of Z-28s, and it will do in a moment. And Z-27 is close by. I think we'll go for the other and fire those. Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing as well. I click on something and then it... Right. So if I click on one to fire and then change the target, it takes the click off. That's what's happening. And fire both of those in a moment. I'm going to use Von der Tann, which is the only battle cruiser to have missiles, because I think I'd quite like those missiles to leave. So let's do Von der Tann on 1 missile per destroyer. And the last one. That just leaves this one without any missiles fired or fired soon. Okay, let's do Z-71. And all of her mounts seem to be facing the wrong way. That's fine. They will shortly. And then we'll pick one more, and then everything's kind of doubled up, and there are missiles coming from different directions. I'm not sure. Does that help? Should you just launch 4 missiles from one destroyer or whatever and have them all pile into the same target? Or is it better to have some missiles coming from this direction, some missiles coming from that direction, and split the air defense or the ECM or whatever? Who can say? Drop a comment if you think you know. Okay, so we have the cruiser Cologne, if you want to pronounce it properly. So we'll just fire at one ship from Cologne, because it's nice and close by. And one more, and maybe actually a last one as well. Let's just press fire all. There we go. So that should have a few missiles launched. You can see from the gray line here that we are not too far away from the battleship's main guns. Something like 18 nautical miles. So yeah, not too bad. Just as an aside, I'm very much enjoying seeing the Junkers 226s here and here, helicopters out in recon ahead of the main formation. So well done, guys. Very, very nice to see that. Let's push it on a minute. Targeting radar is locking on to the Cologne. Now, this is the problem with it just saying unidentified ship, because a whole new set of extra ships have come along, and, you know, I don't necessarily know which ones are which. So I think I fired at this, and this, maybe that. And then there are another 3 that look like big ships. Okay, I've loosed off missiles, I think, at all the rest, including this mythical one here. So let's see if that resolves itself into something. So we have 10 ships, possibly an 11th one here. So, okay, it's launched seemingly 6 missiles at us. Always concerning. Here is finally a report. Inevitably, it's 1 heavy cruiser, a couple of light cruisers, and we'll forget the rest. Oops. And then there's another 6 more. So 12 missiles inbound. So I've just pointed all of my ships to be bow on to the missiles to minimize the target aspect that they generate. So there's a hit, which is always nice to see. Near miss for Z28. Oof. And there's a lot. Well, first of all, well done, Kuna. Missiles incoming, overflown by 4 missiles. It doesn't say that that's ECM, but that's still very good. And then, after these first 3 hit reports, another incoming, another one decoyed, another near miss, another overflown. That's extraordinary. Oh, and there's another one overflown here and another one overflown there. I hope that doesn't mean they go overflown and then hit something else. Okay, finally, there's 1 hit. It does take 1 hit. We will have to have a little look at that. And also one of our destroyers has taken a hit. Hull pass-through fire started. The old fire started. And ooh. So we'll have a look at the destroyer Faker and see how that is doing. But pretty good. 2 hits on us. 11 reported hits on them. We know what that can be like. No damage assessment on these ships. I noticed a couple of them have resolved themselves into being carriers. They're not carriers. Mainly cruisers being identified at the moment. Here's the log for Kulna. Missiles decoyed. I mean, exceptionally great job of decoying considering how many missiles pointed its way. Missile launcher hit, fire started. Well, it's a really good thing that it just got rid of all of its missiles before the launcher got hit. So that's good. Radar disabled, secondary guns destroyed. So we're on a fire 3. So I'm going to detach that. And ooh, I don't think it will let me detach it. Yeah, not sufficiently damaged for detachment. So I'm going to slow it down to maybe 12 knots or something like that. I know, well, maybe even 10. I know that will slow down everything else as well in the group, the Stettin and the Felka is here. So the good news is missiles that overflew have just gone into the ether, which is great. And let's see the damage here. So 69, yeah. So that's going to be hard to come back from. It too had launched its 2 surface missiles, and again missile decoying. So my electronic warfare, my ECM, is pretty good. Hull pass-through. So obviously made a big hole. Fire started. I'm not seeing the fire yet. But if we go to, oh, it's a division of 1. So that's kind of handy. So let me put that onto, get us to turn away. And yeah, stay out of trouble is what I'd like there. So, okay, I'm happy with that exchange ratio. I'm not seeing any damage assessments yet for any of these ships, but let's push it 1 more minute. That's a surprise on the Kulna. Missile incoming. And yeah, it says it hits the missile and a missile exploded. I thought we got rid of all the missiles. Anyhow, Z321 and 132 and 134 both hit by missiles. So we'll have to just check out them. And we've scored a hit back on them. Okay, probably time to consider launching some more. So first up, because Z134 has been hit and it's got 4 missiles, I'm going to get rid of those missiles. So first of all, we'll get an attack on this alleged heavy cruiser. And maybe just a second one for fun. And then there's this alleged CV. And fire 1 and fire 1. Okay, so that's them. And then 132 had already fired its missiles, so that's good. Brings up the question then of who else? Padabon, as you might want to pronounce it, could well be a good target for this alleged CV. Actually, let's go for some of these CLs. I mean, there's this CV. My ass. And oh, hello. So there's a report of Cario, of which we seem to be out of range, other than U-264. Okay, and then there's another one here that Stettin appears to be in range of. So, I mean, it's a long range. I mean, right at the end of range. Is that the only one? Yeah. And the submarine. But that sounds like, let's just launch them all. That one. That also feels like a proper target. So let's just zoom out and let's go to reports. So there's one, is that? And there's the other. All right, so there's definitely one. And then one around here. So there's definitely something around here. So let's go to the carrier strikes. Well, gratifyingly, my original idea was if that was a surface action group, then somewhere behind was the carriers. Well, they seem to be in this overall general position rather than over here or directly over here. But that seems close enough. I'm still calling that, which is great. I'm just waiting for the carrier strikes to get themselves ready, and I've asked for another group of strikes to come along as well since we've found them. Let me just go and check on my wounded ship. So 132 is on fire too, and 12 flooding, and it's only 1 asterisk, so it's not going to let me detach it. At least I don't think it will. Nah. 134 is in an awkward way at the moment. Only 1 fire, but 48 flooding. So I've slowed her right down and sent her back as well. So, first barrage of missiles went well. Second barrage of missiles coming. A few missiles launched slightly optimistically at this. More importantly, carrier strike group in preparation, hopefully with us quite soon. So let's carry on. Okay, many more launches of missiles. They seem to have launched a couple more, which is okay. I mean, you have to take your lumps. Bit of sighting. Oof, yeah, well, not surprising. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits on a heavy cruiser. Whether that's real or not, who can say? And so here they are. No reports at all about what level of damage they have. Just seeing if there was any more carrier reports, but no, just that one and that one. Yeah, so one here, one over there. So a bit of a spread. And obviously something around there as well. Okay. So now that the missiles, well, there's 3 more missiles coming. So let's just see if we can survive that. 4 more hits on a heavy cruiser out of the many that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heavy cruisers that are being reported. They're all heavy cruisers, honest. Our own have gone overflown, which is great. Well done, chaps. And just 1 more. So Z134 starts to get ahead of the curve. Well, that's outstanding. From an engine in the fire room, from a fire in the engine room, they've limited the flooding twice and they've extinguished the fire, seemingly so. Cross fingers, they can make it back home. Just checking on things, and look at all of these lovely recon helicopters doing something or other, which is great. How is this chap doing? So we've slowed them right down. They're still on fire 5. 2 missile hits. Yeah, that could be problematic, despite the sterling work of electronic countermeasures. Of course, there's me thinking it's, fired all my surface missiles, which I have, and it's hit a missile mount and the missiles exploded. Of course, it could be the SAM. Yep. So that could well be a thing. So I'm going to bring the battle cruisers to the northeast. Not totally ideal in a good old-fashioned dreadnoughty kind of way, because that would have them going straight into the wind, which means that they are prone for a bit of smoke interference. So I'm going to get them to go line abreast. And you're course, aren't you? And see if they can avoid upsetting each other too badly. So there you go, the reassuring sound of gunfire. Just force flagship set to independent. I thought I just set it to core, but what do I know? Importantly, the British are showing no signs of trying to head for the convoy, which is the object of the exercise. They seem intent on closing. Okay, so some actual intelligence. So some of these heavy cruisers have resolved themselves, unsurprisingly, into destroyers. Feels like time to review a little bit more of the missile firing opportunities. So we have a little bit more information now. So this one is reporting heavy damage. This and this are reporting light damage, and this is reporting, medium damage, and this is reporting light damage. And yeah, I believe they're all on fire as well, as is required when you've been hit by missiles. So great job. Oh. In addition, this Southampton class reports that it's medium damage, but it's not reporting that it's on fire. Okay, there's a few more missiles fired at the ships that don't appear to be damaged. Let's see which way they go. And they're still kind of largely just blithely heading towards us. I don't think this line abreast is working. If we look at the rates, yeah, that's not super great, and they all seem to be firing at the same people. Yeah, we're picking up quite a lot of negatives. Near the sighting range, 3 ships firing at the same target, the ship's turning, the target's turning, a loose formation, 2 ships firing at the same target. Also, 3 ships fouling the range. Smoke interference is worth only 10 at this point. So I think I will go back and make them into line ahead and just accept a little bit of stuff. They're going 18 knots, which is a little bit sedate, so I'm just going to push them up a little bit higher and let them differentiate a few more targets. A little bit of straddling going on. I fire. Not loving that. Not loving that. I'm going to turn it because it's going straight down you. Turn that and also bring it out of scout and into support and line ahead. And actually, I'm just going to see if I can actually, yes, I can detach. So let's detach now. The battlecruisers are a healthy sort of 20,000 yards. Derwent class hit by missiles. Hit by 3 missiles, apparently, which I didn't ask for. I've only been firing 2 missiles at a time. I wonder if this Cumberland actually really is, as advertised, a heavy cruiser. Okay, nothing too much to worry about. I mean, no gun hits. Maybe there's quite a lot of smoke around. Let's not mess with the target. I think that looks fine as is. Oops. Interesting to see if it manages to hit anything new. I'm just going to tidy up the report. And let's see that strike come in. So good news. Let's say no again. Our carrier strikes should be ready soon. Some of these ships seem pretty stationary. Okay, there's some hits from Breslau on the Derwent, and the Stauffenberg has hit the Southampton, and it won't enjoy that. And some hits on the Southampton from Graf Spee and Cumberland from Reichsgraf. We're down to 12,000. We don't have to be that close for the battle cruisers. The British are unsurprisingly trying to turn away. I don't think we're super bothered by any of that. Right, finally, some people are ready on the König Barthausen. I'll give it one more minute just to see if there's any more, and then we will go carrier hunting. Okay, I think we can roll the battle cruisers slightly round over so that the British just don't gratuitously escape. And we are at best shooting speed already. Okay, let's go to reports, see if there's any new. So I'm not seeing any new around here. So that, and that. Okay, so those three, they're quite old. I mean, 20 minutes old, so not super, super old. We're 100 miles away. If I take off the coordination, they'll get there at 11:50, with it at 12:40. So 50 minutes later. Oh, that's awful, isn't it? Absolutely dreadful. Oh, we don't need the cap. That's helped slightly. Okay, I'll send them all in together, coordinated. Let's launch that. And let's continue. So that seems static, that seems static. Yeah. Some are still steaming away. Yeah, I think they're struggling with what to do. Not sure what to do with this. This is a report of a heavy cruiser and stuff over here going towards the convoy, which I'm not enjoying. There's another one there. That's miles away. Oh, that's just a destroyer. Get rid of that. Interestingly, this is from Gneisenau, so that means it's a helicopter report. So and there it is. So yeah, I'm just going to ignore it for the moment and assume it's just not true. Okay. Second strike's ready. 134. Let's go see if there's anything we can do for 134. So she's going at 5 knots. Flooding 7. I think, yeah, they have had another flooding limited. They've repaired their machinery despite being hit in the engine room. The fire has been fully extinguished. So I think hopefully they're doing well. So yeah, just keep on doing what you're doing, chaps. Bit more hitting of the Cumberland. Bit on the Maori. Let's keep shooting. I've got strikes ready on the carrier, but I don't really have any more targets for it. What's the distance? 13,000, 19,000. Just going to close in round the top a little bit. Oh, there comes some of the strike planes. Okay, some missile launches from the planes. I mean, you know, just when you're in a bad place, you get hit by a missile from a plane. It's a surprise that any of these are actually still moving. And there's a couple more hit by missiles. And always popular when an unsighted ship gets hit as well. So I think this is pretty much finishing off this strike group. So aside from some target practice, let's just put the pedibond onto automatic. Otherwise, it's in danger of leaving the area. So what I would love, if we go to recon, is for that kind of thing. So that's a CV, and that's a CV. Okay. Okay, so in green here are the 3 most recent reports. These are both of one CV, well, one CV and a CVL, one CV. This is of 3 CVLs. But it's different from all of the rest, which puts it in this kind of area. So I'm going to treat that as spurious down here, unless I get any other confirmation from that one. And instead, I'm going to take our battle cruisers and send them at high speed, 25 knots, in this general direction. They are something like just over 50 nautical miles. It's a bit of a chase, but come darkness, which is in 9 hours and 50, actually, they may be able to catch, particularly if I launch some airstrikes at this little lot and see if we can, you know, wound some ships, and then the battle cruisers can come and pick them up, pick up the leftovers. So let us ready this and pop it to the most recent and coordinate them. Them, and them. So, okay, that's all right. Let's launch them. And then this and this can go against the second one. And let's launch them. Then on Flug 2, we haven't got anything other than some jet attacks. I don't want to send the jet attacks on their own. And here in Flug 3, we have this little attack. I mean, it's not much, but if I wanted to play safe, I could send it to the south for this potentially spurious return, but that feels like it's reasonable enough. It's only 90 nautical miles. What's the worst that can happen? They find nothing, which, you know, in a way would be a good thing. Here's the convoy, so I'd be fine with that. Let me just look at the missiles. And I'm interested in the missiles firing at this lot, which obviously will be the submarines, if there are any. Nope, there don't seem to be any there. How about for this lot? In range. There we go. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Oh, that's spurious. Oh no, that really is. That and that are not in range. Ah, so this one does actually have some right at the edge of its range, and that doesn't have any. I think they're too far away. We did fire those very long-range missiles from one of the light cruisers. I don't think they really achieved anything. So, you know, we haven't got so many surface missiles that we can just gratuitously zoom them around. So let's keep on punishing this little lot, and at the same time make our way towards the carrier forces. I don't think you all need to concentrate on everybody, but yeah, I suppose you do want to fire by division. Do I stop you? Actually, we're down to sort of so if I stop for 10 minutes, no, it stops the whole division for 10 minutes, but feels okay. I don't think I want to just totally waste my fire at this lot. There's another force ready. And another lot. So once again, I've got another group, and I'm just going to wait until another target presents itself. Where are we? Oh, over here. Checking the carriers, just flying into the wind, not a care in the world. Not sure why SSG U-254 hasn't fired any missiles. Perhaps it has. Perhaps it fired any missiles on its own initiative. So, looks like we probably want to resume fire. We're only 15,000 yards away. Oops, well, that seems to have made the Cumberland stop, so that's a definite go on, chaps, let's not bully the chap whilst he's inconvenienced. Let's just see what reports we have. So we have reports of heavy damage here, and here. Oh, and these two are sunk. So yeah, and the rest aren't reporting, but that doesn't mean they're not in a world of hurt. Whoops. Just going to take the Paderborn and bring that down a little bit. And give them a bit of firing practice. So actually, even that's not necessary since the Maori has stopped. So I'm going to stop that one. So the only active ones are these four. All right. Let's just see if we are in range. Southampton. So division class. There we go. Let's shoot at them. If we can. Let's just go down a little bit. And it swaps, of course, to the ship that I didn't want it to shoot at. In fact, explicitly told it not to shoot at. No reason to shoot at them. Yeah, shoot at these guys, not at those guys. Can we do that? Actually, let's turn it to manual targeting. I hate manual targeting because I always forget that I've got manual targeting going. Nope, it's still wanting to shoot at them. Oh no, somebody's at last swapped. Well, I suppose that's something. Okay, I just missed from last turn. Light jet fighter, meteor, cap attacks my jet attack planes, shoot down one, damage one. So there's some stuff going on around there. Oh, for goodness sake, let's just... aircraft approaching. Ooh, don't like the sound of that. Let's stop that again. Oof, well, there's a lot more reports. We'll have to try and make sense of all of this lot. So much shooting around Gneisenau and Stuttgart as 4 enemy light jet fighters strafe it. I mean, it's a bit old world, isn't it? Right, anyhow, back to all these reports. Oh yes, there's definitely some carrier goodness around here. So I'm going to launch another strike from my carriers. These surviving ones are doing the best. What on earth? Oh, the merchant ship. Oh yeah, what happened to the convoy? Well, I guess it's that. So, question is, most of these aren't moving, are they? Yeah. So it's really only these that are still moving. And I'm not too bothered. Enemy aircraft approaching us. Boo! So we've damaged a goblin. And we've shot down 3 light jet fighters. And some enemy aircraft approaching the battle cruisers. So they're definitely doing their best to have a go at us. I have to say, our SAMs have been a bit rubbish. Our electronic countermeasures have been awesome. Our cap is great as usual, although one of these light jet fighter Foxes actually managed to shoot down one of our Arado heavy jet fighters, one of our super fighters. Must have been a lucky hit, is all I can say. Yeah, launching missiles against Ellie Bonheim. Ouch, not enjoying that. I mean, look at this, after the last load, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 heavy and medium SAMs, and they all produce not a single sausage of a hit. Don't know whether we're missing some sort of SAM technology or something, but that's, poor on top of the last barrage, which also did no hits. Well, finally, look, Lutzow and Gneisenau shows them how to do it with a destroyed and a damaged each. Oh, and fair play to the Reichsgraf and to the Kolberg. It seems that the missiles either miss completely or get 2 planes, usually a damaged and a destroyed. So yeah, so only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 missiles completely missing the mark. And some more worryingly, in which Ooh. We shoot down 6 of their Foxes, but lose 2 to our ME 231s. Why do the Germans have to have numbers for everything? Give them a nice name. And we get another Fox and a couple of Goblins. And we near miss a missile, which is fine. Any reason why you've suddenly deviated from your course? No? Just evading air attack. Okay. If we could all just head back to where I'd like you to go, that would be great. And stop firing on the Cumberland. God's teeth. Ooh. Oh, proper mixing up here. Even Stevens, pretty much, so far as I can see. I mean, look at our radar and look at all these reports. Let's go to the most recent of reports, which is somewhere over there, somewhere there. So, from the Graphs Bay, that is 42 nautical miles. So that's not too bad. 72, 77. Okay. So potentially getting closer. Now, there are still these ships down here. All seem to be going quite slowly with their light damage, their medium damage, their 10 knots. Launching missiles at heavy cruisers, maybe. They're launching at Peterstrasse. The SAMs go up and the SAMs miss. Okay, couple of missile hits on something over here-ish. Okay, well actually that's the best indication you could want. So we've got a small cluster of planes up in the north, but it's this one surrounding this lot which seems to be the most promising, I believe. More planes ready. So I'm going to have a look at these ready planes because this lot does seem like a reasonably profitable target if I can find out which. I need to come out and then find out which ones these are. So that's that. There. That doesn't seem to change anything. Not that. Also, seems to be the same as that. Okay, so something about this lot. So the second one down should be our target. So nothing on Flug 1. They are all out to play. These two definitely should go to that one. 100 nautical miles away. CV priority. Launch. And then Flug 3 also has a couple. And same priority and launch. Do we have any more of Fluke 2 to ready? Just going to leave that a little bit. They probably need a few returners. Okay. Okay, see if we get any more hits, or are we done? Another missile hits somewhere. Graphs Bay opens up, so it's had its 10 minutes. You've had your rest. Have a little cup of tea or something. I can't see what it's shooting at. It's shooting at that. Well, that's fair enough. 26,000 yards. Let's just close that down. I still want to carry on heading toward... Oh, it's kind of in the right direction. So if we go to here, then we're still heading in the right direction to keep in range of these guys who are straddling now. Enemy CL hit by torpedo. Well, okay, that's, what? Therefore, could you stop shooting at this crippled ship? Because it's these. Well, they're starting to do that. So that's nice. Okay, I'm going to call a break here. I'm hungry. I need some breakfast. 8 hours. So this has been an involved and slow battle. None of this searching for miles and miles and miles. Everything has been where it's supposed to be. Tons and tons of sighting reports all over the place, which is great. It would be fantastic. Let's zoom out a little bit. So I totally want my battle cruisers heading this way to see what we can see and pick off anything that's useful. I've been sending the aircraft carriers that way to just, keep out of harm's way, but I don't think harm's way is particularly important. So I'm going to take them down this kind of way. Obviously, occasionally they'll go up and then go up, as is the usual wind direction-y kind of thing. But if we can get them to do that kind of thing, that would be great. Obviously, these guys are heading back to port. I believe that's the convoy doing whatever the convoy wants to do, so that's fine as well. The Brits have the remnants of their surface action group here and probably have their carriers here, although obviously there are other contenders, particularly there. But, that's fine. If you look how the size of our forces, let me just draw that, that's sort of the size of our carrier group, then, it's not inconceivable that this is all one group and it's just got a little bit separated and all that. So, yeah, join me again for part 2 of this battle, and I'll see if I can wrap it up before nighttime. Somebody cheekily said the only thing wrong with the previous battle was it wasn't more decisive. So let's, we've got still plenty of daylight, quite a lot of missiles left on the carriers. So let's see if we can finish this one off. That would be great. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.